Words have power. In our words are the power of life and death. Stop cursing my nation. Stop speaking death over my nation. America is a unique nation, a melting pot, a nation of many nations, a refuge for many people, a land of opportunity, a nation that has the potential to offer more to the world in terms of freedom, in terms of provision, in terms of starting over, beginning anew, stepping into opportunity and community. Americans are pioneers with a trailblazing spirit. Americans are overcomers. Americans rise above their circumstances. They don't surrender to their circumstances. They don't own their circumstances like an identity. Americans are not victims. They are resilient, empowered people with more blessings than the vast majority of the rest of the world. And even the poorest among us have more resources than the vast majority of the rest of the world. Americans are free people. We have the freedom to worship, the freedom to fail, the freedom to succeed, the freedom to make good or bad choices, the freedom to turn off the TV and seek out the truth. We even have the freedom to deceive ourselves. Americans are generous. We sacrifice and we give and we work hard and we do it cheerfully. America has given to so many nations. The church in America has always been on the front line of generosity and charity. Americans know how to give. And in times of war, we have given our very lives in exchange for the freedom of future generations. Americans are fighters. We don't lay down and roll over and give up. That is not who we are. We are a passionate people, and in spite of the poison of mainstream media, we are a united nation. Unity is in our name. Unity is in our national DNA, and it always will be. We are a nation who extends a helping hand to other nations, but in the context of order, not chaos. We are a people who fight for justice in ways that are constructive, not destructive. Slavery still exists in America today. There are thousands caught in human sex trafficking, children sold for sex in our nation. If you are passionate about social justice, do something about the slavery that is happening right now, right under your nose, right down at our very border, right now in our nation. Attempting to burn down police buildings with people inside them is arson and attempted murder, not peaceful protests. Be constructive, not destructive. Wake up and fight for the freedom of women and children now, even now, who are being abused, sold, and discarded right here in our nation, at our border, and right under your nose. Make a real difference for freedom, for people who are truly slaves right now. Americans are not hopelessly self-indulgent. We do have the capacity to look around and see the needs of others around us. And we have the resources and the freedom and the heart to respond to those needs. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Americans are inclusive. We receive all who are tired and poor, and we openly invite them to drink in the freedom that we have here in this nation, to appreciate it, to walk in it, and hopefully to steward that freedom well. Don't tell me my nation is beyond redemption. Not when the church in America was at the forefront of the Underground Railroad. Not when the church in America was at the forefront of mercy, deliverance, and acceptance. Not when that church in Hanover, Virginia was on the cutting edge of religious freedom and eradicating illiteracy among African Americans at the risk of their own lives. Learn your history. Don't tell me this nation is beyond redemption. not when I can look around my own city right here, right now, and see a unity that is unprecedented in the church. Free clothing given to single mothers, free groceries given to the poor, free gas to those who need to get to work, free prayer for those who are filled with anxiety and racked with depression, free sonograms, free diapers to pregnant women. One house church in my city raised thousands of dollars on one Sunday and then delivered all the money to a local cancer patient. That is my city. Don't sell your soul and your freedom to big government for the promise of a free ride when the church is at the forefront of charity and provision. Mine is just one city, but my city is filled with Americans who still know how to love, who are still using their freedom to be constructive, not destructive, who are still choosing to get up and give cheerfully and bless this nation with their actions and their words, who refuse to allow their voices to be censored and their minds to be brainwashed by CNN. This is America, resilient, generous, sacrificial, inclusive, unified, and free. And once again, God is beckoning his people to step up, to speak out, to stand once again on the forefront, the cutting edge of his love and generosity, his boldness, his courage, to steward his freedom and to steward it well. There is an invitation to roar, to open your mouth and use it for good, to speak life over our nation and its people, to pray instead of curse, to love instead of mock, to give instead of loot, to share instead of hoarding, to resource and empower, to honor instead of dishonor, to build up instead of tearing down, to learn truth instead of listening to lies, and to invite others into our hardworking, pioneering, sacrificial, creative DNA. Don't tell me my nation is beyond redemption. This is America. Show the world who we are before it's too late.